All right, welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Just before the break, we were having a long chat with Dr. Mazwi Majola about the issue of corruption, and we're going to continue to stay on that. President Cyril Ramaphosa has also added his voice to rampant corruption and social cohesion, calling on all law enforcement agencies to ensure that all stolen money is being recovered.
Our seventh priority is social cohesion and safe communities. We will ensure that our law enforcement agencies are supported so that they can investigate thoroughly and prosecute effectively without fear or favor. We will intensify our efforts to end state capture in all its forms, to ensure those responsible are held accountable and that all the money that was stolen from government or public bodies is recovered. Tšhelete eo e utswitseng e laba gore e buya re khwa e tota eo tšhelete yo tshwiwago gore e buye le tšhelete ya lushaka a se tšhelete ya motho o tifetse. We will strengthen the ability of the ANC's Integrity Commission to act decisively without fear or favor against those within our ranks who are implicated in corrupt activity. We will work to make our streets, our homes and communities safer through improved police visibility, more effective training of police, and greater involvement of community policing and safety forums in fighting crimes.
All right, Dr. Majola, we're going to continue then on that conversation about corruption. Do you believe that indeed law enforcement agencies within the country are adequately given the tools, the resources, or, are they not hindered in terms of dealing with corruption where we want it dealt with? And of course, that is in itself in government itself.
I think they've got all the capacity and capabilities and the mandate. I think NPA has been given that, and other law enforcement agencies. So really, that is the criticism against the new NPA head. That since she has taken over, we haven't seen any really big cases, things happening there. Yes, as outsiders, we are not privy to the internal dynamics, and some of these cases are very complex. They need time, they need all sorts of. But unfortunately, South Africans don't have time to wait. If people who are appointed into different institutions, if they can just move with speed. Not just speed, but Panasonic speed, because, there's so much that has happened in our country. So we need things to happen quickly. And we need just those quick wins. We might not do all sorts of things, but like any other leader, when you're a leader and you've been given responsibility, you are taking over, and there's so much to do, you identify those things, 2 or 3 people that are quick wins, things that when you deliver them, at least they will inspire confidence and trust to people, and then people say yes. We are seeing something happening there. We are not there yet, but at least we can see something happening. But you cannot just you cannot eat the whole elephant at once.
Yeah.
Bite by one, let's check. Within this big elephant, which area that will make immediately impact. If I can take these ones, at least something will happen. And then deliver on those while we're still doing other things. So unfortunately, ANC, as far as corruption is concerned, really, it seems as if now they are relying on state capture, Zondo Commission, and then NPA. It's like, if we are a parent, we've got an unruly child, instead of you disciplining, and you know that this child has done something wrong, instead of you as a parent disciplining the child, you are relying on the child's teacher, that your teacher, yes, your teacher will do this, but you know that you
are not
must
enforcing the rules.
Yes, so it starts with you as a parent first, so that whatever the teacher does, whatever other community leaders do, at least but it starts from you. It starts from within. So the ANC has failed to really to play that role, and I'm happy that he has spoken.
Would you say they're
about
using commissions as sort of tools to enforce what they actually want to enforce in that sense?
Yeah, they're just waiting. So wait and see. They're saying, oh, we're waiting to see what the state capture will do. We are waiting for NPA, and while they know there are certain comrades who are doing wrong things with it. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
They, instead of disciplining themselves, they are relying on outside institution to enforce or reinforce the discipline. He spoke about the ANC Integrity Commission, and that was a very good tool within the organization, and to make sure that there is this institution that will look into the areas of ethics and integrity, but it doesn't bite. It must really start biting. And then community and people out there, they must see results that at least the Integrity Commission has done this. It mustn't be something internally that someone said this and this and this, and then again, and then cover-ups, and then someone is exonerated. So unfortunately, if ANC wants to restore respect, credibility, and integrity, and if it wants to inspire confidence and trust, it must start putting actions together.
Dr. Majola, just in closing, as we wrap up our conversation here, let's pretend the January 8th statement is, a clean slate, and the ANC sort of starting again. Where do they then begin to sort of cleanse themselves of, these things that taint the ANC? Some of the issues that you've mentioned, we talk about corruption, your cadre deployment, all of those things. Is it in fact possible for the ANC to indeed be able to cleanse itself of being associated with all of these sort of negative aspects, not delivering, no service delivery, all of those things? Is there a way that the ANC can indeed cleanse themselves? And as been mentioned throughout the morning, the fact that the January 8th statement is really sort of a precursor to the SONA, the State of the Nation address. So what are we then supposed to, or should we rather be expecting going forward from the party?
Absolutely. ANC has a full potential, a huge potential, and it's doable. ANC can still cleanse itself. ANC can still restore its principles and values. ANC is a very big organization. The fact that it's still standing now, it has, against all challenges. If you look at just post 1994, if you look different sprinter groups that have left ANC. It's UTM, Bantu Olomisa left ANC, but it remains standing. COPE came and then left the organization, and then standing. EFF. So these people, when they live with many people with them. There's a huge exodus that takes place. Dr. Makosi Koza tried, even though she didn't fly. So when you look at all these challenges, but it's still standing, So you can see that there are so many people who still believe in this organization. And the fact that they're still voting, they've got 57% last year. There's still people who are still saying, it's doable. They can still do something. They must just take this, they must just restore this decisive leadership. During Madiba's time, there used to be a time when single-handedly he would say that this is not going to happen. Yeah. I'm saying it. You need that kind of a leader. I'm saying it. There was a time when there was a tension between SACP, COSATU, and ANC regarding the economic policy at a time. And Madiba said, I'm saying Asgisa is not going anywhere. If anyone doesn't want it, and he was talking to tripartite, what you call partners, So you need that kind of leadership at times. You cannot just pleasing everyone all the time. You must be decisive and courageous. There are times when, yes, you must laugh and you must accommodate and you must listen to other people. But there are times when you must make decisions and say, I, as a leader, say this. But unfortunately for Ramaphosa, he wants to build this unity, which is a good thing, really unify the organization. But unity should not mean uniformity. And unity should not mean conformity. Unity should not mean unanimity, So while he's building this unity, he must still take stand as a party leader and make decisive leadership. And absolutely, they will restore many support from South Africans.
All right, Dr. Mazwi Majola, always a great pleasure having you with us. Thank you for that insightful analysis you've given us here on the show today. Thank you very much. All right, that's Dr. Mazwi Majola, leadership expert, chatting to us here as we dissect, of course, that January 8th statement, and we will throughout the day continue to do so. Moving on then, the